Holy crap! There's a lot of shows I watched so far this year, so strap yourselves in. We're about to talk about some television shows. Sounds kind of boring, actually.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Hey everyone, welcome to another sort of review. Yep, this is me talking about all the television shows I've watched since January of 2025 to now. There could have been a lot more. There's a lot I could have watched, and for my sanity, I'm glad I skipped them. Looking at you, Ironheart, but there is some shows I checked out, or at least tried to. I'm gonna be talking about the shows, even the shows I skipped out on, like after a few episodes. Like if I watched at least like 2 episodes, I'm gonna talk about it and maybe just say why I abandoned the show. So here are all the shows I've watched so far in 2025. Let's get to it quickly. First one, My Friends and Neighbors, the John Hamm show. I watched this all the way through. I thought it was a solid show. I love the show about this man who is like a multi-millionaire, works for a big corporation, and he gets fired. He also, his wife left him, cheated on him with a friend of his. He was like a famous basketball player. And he knows that he won't be able to support his kids, so he starts robbing his neighbors. He knows that they're all multimillionaires, billionaires, and they have a bunch of stuff that's worth so much money. So he steals and like hawks their stuff. But then he gets involved in like almost like a murder case and stealing a high-end art piece. And it's a really good show. It's a very darkly comedic show, but John Hamm is awesome in the show. He is so likable, he's so funny, and he kills it. He crushes this role. He's the reason to watch the show. He is the best part. You got Amanda Peet and Olivia Munn in the show. They're all fine. They all do their job. Even the kid actors are pretty good, but you watch this for John Hamm. And it has a very good and satisfying ending to the show. It kind of hints that there might be a season 2. I really don't. There doesn't need to be a season 2. It's a perfect one-off show. Definitely check it out. It's a really good one. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Super good show. Mobland is another one I watched too. The Tom Hardy show. It's got Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. Really great show. I wish it ended stronger. This show starts off fantastic. This is like an English mafia story about Tom Hardy works for this mob family. And he does like all their horrible jobs that like very questionable jobs, and he also is like connected with like special ops. There's also this war going between these two families, and they want Tom Hardy to join, but he doesn't. And then the son of one of the families gets murdered, and then it becomes like this like war between the families. It's a really good show. It dives into these characters. It's a very dark show, and there's some things I love. There's things I absolutely hate in this show, though. I think Pierce Brosnan is not very good in the show. I think Tom Hardy's great. I think the guy Paddy Considine, is that his name? The guy who's in the Cornetto trilogy, and he's in House of the Dragon. He plays Viserys. He's in the show. He's one of the best. Helen Mirren is good. But like I think Pierce Brosnan was miscast, and I don't think he's very good. I also think the ending wasn't very satisfying. Like how a season 1 should end to really hook you for the next season. But honestly, I was kind of like, I think they could have gone a little more ballsy with it. But I think it was kind of like a safe ending. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was kind of it was lower in quality as the last couple episodes was going through, but I thought it was good. And I'd give it a 7.5. I will watch the next season, but who knows? All right, the next show I watched bits of is Suits LA. I think the show got canceled. Nice. Thank you. This show is ass. I watched 3 episodes, and it was garbage. I watched Suits as when it was on air. I stopped watching after season 4, so I have no idea how Suits ends, but I was really hooked in the first couple seasons of Suits. Then they just kind of like got rid of storylines and made Mike like a shitty character. But the show was entertaining. I did want to see where they were going, and it had Stephen Amell. And he is good, but the rest of the cast is terrible. The court cases are terrible. It is the corniest show, and some of the storylines, I'm like, what are they doing with this show? I'm like, can they just get rid of this show and then bring another season of Heels? Because season 2 of Heels left on a cliffhanger, and the show got canceled. And I want a season 3. And Stephen Amell, you don't need to do these stupid suit shows. Go back to Heels. Can a network just bring back Heels? That's a good show. But this show, fucking terrible. It's not even a good, like a mindless law show. It's just stupid, tedious, and stupid. I said it like 8 times. 4 out of 10. Not good. Reacher season 3. Awesome. Reacher, this is such a good show. Like, each season is just getting better and better. I loved this season of Reacher because it's Reacher helping, like, he saves the life of this kid, and his dad's, like, a huge arms dealer, and he has to, like, become the bodyguard of this family, but he's undercover with this agency. Oh my god, just where the story goes, oh, it's so good. Again, Alan Richardson is such a good Jack Reacher. Like, the show is so compelling. It's so badass. The action is so good. And just each storyline is just more and more enjoyable. I loved season 1, but season 2 was amazing. Now, season 3 is just as good. I won't spoil too much, but man, the last episode when they do the whole shootout at the mansion, fucking awesome. 9 out of 10. This is a great show. I love it. Daredevil Born Again. Couldn't finish it. Like, how did you fuck that up, Disney? Like, I love the first 3 seasons of Daredevil is in like my top 30 favorite shows. It's so good. They made the show boring. I literally, like, yeah, they did something ballsy in the first episode, and I was like, I don't know if I'm on board with that, but I just didn't care. Like, I don't know, and like they went back to the dark tone. Like, everything looks right. It seems right. But it isn't right. And I don't know. Maybe you need Drew Goddard back to write the show or something. It's just, it doesn't feel like Daredevil. I'm sorry. Everyone keeps saying, like, Daredevil's back. It didn't feel like it was back. It just doesn't feel like Daredevil. It doesn't feel like the next Netflix show. Something about the writing, something about the style. After like 4 episodes, I just kind of stopped watching and I'm just like, I don't really care. So, 5 out of 10. I don't know. Now, we're getting into all the negative shit now. The Studio. Hated the show. Absolutely hated it. And I'm loving a lot of shows on Apple TV, but man, this shit sucked. Like, I know it's trying to show like the satirization of Hollywood and like the behind the scenes and stuff, but it's doing the Spinal Tap, but with no funny and no ounce of humor. I don't know what happened to Seth Rogan. Like, Seth Rogan used to be a really funny guy and used to be, like, so creative with his jokes. But he's just unbearable now. Like, he is just... and I feel like this whole show was just celebrities patting their backs and how amazing they are. So, I fucking couldn't stand the show. I watched 2 episodes, and I'm like, why am I watching this crap? And I don't know why anyone else likes this crap. 3 out of 10. Now we're gonna get to the show that pissed me off the most. Devil May Cry, the Netflix animated show. The show is fucking stupid. They completely ruined the story of Dante. They brought in a character from the 3rd game, and they made her the focus, and she's better than Dante. Even though she's a hunter, not a fucking demon. They screwed up Mungus. They screwed up Dante. Like, it's cool that they got, like, Nero to play Dante, but, like, this isn't Dante. Dante's so jokey. He's like a fucking, like, Marvel character in this stupid show. They made him an absolute imbecile of a character, a weak character. They made characters who are like this, like this to Dante in the games, and they're, like, more powerful than he is because they want to be pro-woman and pro-feminism and shit. Stop that. Just stop. Anyone who's writing shows and movies, they need to fucking stop that shit. And, like, oh my god, it's a cringy show. The opening to the show is Limp Bizkit. Keep on rolling. I'm like, oh my god. Any subtlety or just amazingness and just, like, that dark and edgy rock and metal of fucking Devil May Cry is none of that's in this show. It's, like, the most stupidest. I could tell, like, I felt like a Gen Zer wrote this show. It's like, oh god. Like, Devil May Cry doesn't always have subtlety to it. It's, like, very metal and, I don't know. If you want to watch like an actual animated show about Devil May Cry, watch the anime of Devil May Cry. That's actually a really good show, and it actually paints Dante in a more real light. That's what Dante's like in the games, if you want to see him in a show. This, like, silly, goofy version of Dante, I don't know what the fuck I was watching. Like, this is stupid. 2 out of 10. There's some nice animation. That's it. I'm not done yet. Let's get to the show Stick. I was so looking forward to this because I play golf on the side. I love hockey. I love watching hockey. I don't love watching golf, but I play golf. But I love to watch hockey though. So a show about golf, I'm in. That sounds awesome. And it's Owen Wilson. I'm a big fan of Owen Wilson. I love him as an actor. And honestly, the first 2 episodes, I was kind of into the show. I was like, I'm liking the vibe. He sees this kid, sees this talent. Even though the kid is super annoying and his mom is super annoying, I could see where they were going with it. It's a little predictable, but I was in. Then they bring in this character, and it becomes like the kid's girlfriend. She ruins the entire show. I watched 2 more episodes, and after episode 4, I was done. I'm like, I can't watch this show anymore. One character demolishes the show. It gets into, like, anti-capitalism and this, like, fucking left-wing political nonsense in a golf show. Like, what are you doing? There was none of that political bullshit in this show. It was just a pro golfer finds a kid, sees the talent, wants to train him to be a professional golfer. How do you bring politics into that? They found a way, and it's all because of this one character. It was annoying me. And, like, this is literally a show about dudes who are into sports. I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea to put that shit into this show. It completely ruined the show for me. I had to stop watching. Literally, I had to stop watching. It was a 7.5 out of 10 show, and it turned to a 4. So, 4. Stupid. Speaking of 4, The Bear, Season 4. What happened to this show? Seriously. The first 2 seasons of The Bear is some of the best current television. Not as good as Shogun, but it's incredibly good. Season 1 and Season 2 of The Bear is amazing television. Amazing writing, amazing directing. Jeremy Allen White is incredible. The whole cast is fantastic. Just like this small town restaurant trying to build up and become a professional. I love Season 2, focused on every one of the characters and what they have to do to make the best restaurant. Then Season 3 came out, and it was terrible. It was so slow. It was trying to be, like, artsy and abstract. I'm like, did they just hire a different director? And, like, is this, like, a different show now? Season 4, they kind of stopped with the artsy crap, but it's still ungodly slow, and it's focusing so much on Sydney, and I'm like, what are you doing? And they're not focusing on the main character, and it's his show, and his ideas, and him becoming the head chef, and creating the bear, and, like, giving a fuck you to the industry. And there is some of that. Like, you get to see Joel McHale again, and that was great. Like, Season 4 was a step up from Season 3. Season 3 was so bad. And it was heartbreaking because Season 2 was so fantastic. And Season 3 was just... Season 4 kind of, like, goes up a little snudge. It went from a 10 out of 10 to a 4 out of 10 show. And now it's at, like, a 6 out of 10. But my God, it's still not great. Like, I really hope they could pick it up. Because, like, this was, like, one of my favorite shows. And now it's just gotten terrible. So... Alright, we got 2 more to go. Shifting Gears. I'm watching this show because of Tim Allen. I love Tim Allen. And I like that show, was it Last Man Standing? I thought that was pretty funny. Home Improvement, grew up with that show. I love Tim Allen. I didn't watch the Santa Claus show, and it's not even a very good show, but I watched that too. This is a very silly, corny sitcom show. It's very sitcom. It's about this daughter. She moved away from her dad, and she started a family, but now her marriage ended, and now she's bringing the kids to live with her dad, and it's this dad trying to help her raise her kids. And he owns, like, a shop, like a mechanic shop, And you got Tim Allen, you got Kat Dennings, you got Sean William Scott, too. Stiffmeister himself. It's a silly show. I enjoyed it, though. I had fun with it. It was super corny. It was incredibly predictable, but you got a likable cast. You got Tim Allen, and you got Kat Dennings, and you got Sean William Scott. And they're all fine. They all have good chemistry. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was like a 7 out of 10 show. Nothing you have to go out and watch right away, but it was fine. I want to end on a positive note, though. There was a show I watched this year that nobody's talking about. No one at all is talking about. And it is one of my favorite shows of the year. I think it's underrated, and I think it's so good. It's a show called Motorheads. This show was great. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this show. The show is about these two kids, these teenagers, move to a small town where their mom grew up. So the mom gets a job there, and they have to move to the small town, and they're like, oh my god. And their dad is a famous, driver. He was a street racer, and he, was the best. And apparently something happened to him. He did a bank job. He robbed a bank with a bunch of people, and he just vanished with all the money, and no one knows what happened to him. And so, these kids have to deal with, the, image of their father and what he did. And the son wants to become a street racer, like his father. And the daughter is, she's, a mechanic, grease monkey. So they find their dad's old car, and they want to build it up, and they want to street race with it. And you got, Ryan Philippine, who's their uncle, and he's hiding a secret if he may know where their father is and stuff. And there's also side stories of other people who might not. The best thing about this show is the mystery of what happened to their father, what did he do, and is he still around? And also what I liked about the show, it takes its time, and it has likable characters. I was so invested. Feels like this was a show that would come out in the 2000s, around the Smallville and Supernatural and the OC kind of day and age. Shows I loved and I grew up with, and this is a great show. Legit. It was fun. It was engaging. I binged in 2 days. I really want to know where it was going, and it hooks you too. And then how season 1 ends, it ends you can't wait for the next season. Yeah, I really hope this show doesn't turn to a Heels and it gets canceled. I really hope people actually check it out. If you want to watch a show about street racing and it's not cheesy like Fast and the Furious, check the show out. It's legit great. Check it out. It's on Prime. So good. I'll give it a 9.2. I really enjoyed the show, and it's probably my favorite show so far. I've watched this year, maybe. Interesting. So, yeah, those are all the shows I've watched so far in 2025. Hope you all enjoyed it. Give me your thoughts and opinions. What are some of your favorite shows you've watched so far this year? Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.